Hi guys, yeah, it's been a minute. I know I've been quite the delinquent. This that I'm about to share with you was something that I probably should have shared from last year, and just so many things came up. I ended up sharing so many other stories, and this just was not one of them. But I was reminded about it this morning. Went to an establishment, a security guard. Hi, morning, Terry. I mean, just completely full of life, just very vibrant. And he came across and he was looking at the car and saying, oh, the car is so nice. And then, we just started chopping it up. And he just started telling me that, he's trying to do so many different things. He wants to elevate. He wants to take himself to the next level. But things are just not working out. And, he shared his story with me. And all I could tell him was, your season is your season. Your season is your season. And automatically, I remembered what it is that I thought about last year. Everybody's going through the road construction. Awful inconvenience of this road construction. People can't get to work on time, can't get to school on time, can't get home on time. If there was a hole on the right hand side of the road, there's a hole on the left hand side of the road. There are flag men, flag women. Sometimes they have the flag, sometimes they don't. Sometimes there's signs. Residential areas, commercial areas don't have water, pipe, bus. Who don't have light, because light posts get licked down. Then you have those who have businesses, but customers can't enter because their entrances have been blocked, or they can't swipe their cards because the lines are done. I mean, it's just been such an awful experience. And I remember sitting in my car, coming from Barbican area, and just cussing under my breath, like, tired of this foolishness. And then I felt a calm. And whenever I feel a calm, I know that there's some lesson that is going to fly up in my head. And I heard, it's life. And in my head, I'm saying, I know it's life, but this not fair. This not nice. You're looking at school children and pedestrians trying to figure out how to cross the road, and they don't even have that capabilities anymore. And I looked back on the road behind me. I just kind of looked behind my vehicle, and I realized that they had actually completed quite a lot, and that the area that I was referring to at that particular point in time was just a small piece. But I was still cussing. And then I thought more about life. And I said, it's so true. Life is a big road, and it's filled with road construction and potholes and signs and no signs and detours and inconvenience, and you cuss and you get frustrated because everything you try to do, you take this corner, you turn that corner, you're trying to detour, you come one day, this road is cleared, and you go the next day and then that road is blocked, and you're wondering, I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. But then maybe months pass, maybe weeks pass, depending on your season. And you realize, but half of the road done. It paved, it pretty, it's smooth. You realize that the ease with which you passed on the road earlier is actually pretty amazing. But we're still focusing so much on the little road that is still under construction that we didn't actually realize all the improvement. And then finally, when all the road construction is done, you realize that the entire area of your life, this aspect or this facet, has been vastly improved. Clean, easy, efficient, effective, to the point where you can't even remember how the road used to stay before. It's the same thing that happens in our lives, guys. There's nothing. I don't think there's anything more obvious and more profound than that. Instead of getting frustrated, although I do understand, because it is human nature to wonder why this can't be over, why this can't be done, why can't I just blossom, why can't I just elevate myself? Sometimes you have to remember that you're under work is in progress. You're under construction. It's not going to be easy. All the roads in life now going to be paved. And it is being patient, it is doing what you have to do, learning your detour, getting up earlier, planning out your route, planning out your system. That's what a lot of us have had to do in order to deal with these road constructions. So instead of complaining more, how can we solve this? How can we fix this to the point where we start looking at the little victories, the small victories, we're looking at the successes, until all of a sudden we don't even remember what that used to be like. And a lot of people ask me about my career, and it always goes back to How did I end up in media? You know, and it's because the biggest roadblocks for me in my life, at the end of it, it ended up in a triumph. It ended up in a victory. It ended up in something teaching me that I am so much bigger than even what I had envisioned for myself, you know. And I give God thanks that I was always obedient. I think I give God thanks that I complained less about my disappointments, and I just kind of figured, okay, so what does this mean? What do I do? And for those of you who don't know, because I know some people see me, you know, as Dr. Terri-Karelle, and they're wondering, when did you get the doctorate? And I actually graduated in 2007 in veterinary medicine, went to Cuba. Veterinary medicine was all I wanted to do since I was 4. And I said that this is what I was going to do. I had my mind set out on it. I got the grades. I did everything right. I mean, it was perfect. Came home, went to the vet board. Okay, I can't sit the exam. I can't be registered because they do not accredit students who studied veterinary medicine in Cuba, which would mean that I would have to go to Trinidad and Tobago and do some more years at St. Augustine, UA, or I'd have to go to Alabama at the Tuskegee University or whatever. And in that moment, that was a massive roadblock. I would come home as a student, a broke student. My scholarship would just have been up, and I was now being told, oops, I don't have any money. I don't have another scholarship. And I could have sat down, and I think I could have cussed the veterinary board. I could have cussed the government. I could have cussed. And it's funny, people say that they've never heard me cuss about it. And that's because I never have time to curse about it. I was already now into, well, what am I going to do mode? What do I need to do? And it's resourcefulness, and it's looking at your skill sets that you may not even realize are skills, your gifts that you may not even realize are gifts. And you go, all right, boom, 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 let me try out this. This may not be a high paying job, but let me start somewhere. Sometimes you can't go in making $1 million on the job. Sometimes you have to take a job that may not be what you want to do, what you love doing, or what is going to pay you. But you never ever know where that position in life puts you, and that is your work in progress. That is your road under construction. And so I would go into these different jobs that I did not have any formal training in, but I just wanted to learn. And while I was there, I wanted to be an asset. I knew I'd be an asset. As long as you just show me what I needed to do, I would do it. And then all of a sudden, my scope and my experience outside of veterinary medicine, clearly, it grew. And I look at where I am now in comparison to where I was on that roadblock, and I go, you know, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here. And yet still I am. You look back and you realize, wow, look at all of the progress and all the improvement I've made along the road. It don't make any sense. I sit down and complain about where I am and where I'm still not an XYZ. No. Look back and say, my goodness, look at how far I am coming from in the parking lot of the Jamaica Veterinary Board, looking at my mother who was asking me, what are you going to do? And saying, Mommy, I have no idea. Look at how much I have done with so little. I remember when I entered Miss Jamaica World in 2005, I was taking a bus. I took the bus to Spartan Health Club to fill out my form and to hand it in. And there are a lot of women who enter Miss Jamaica World and young girls who enter Miss Jamaica World that people just automatically assume have it. And they don't. We have to figure out bus fare. We have to figure out, rides if we can, or we have to figure out taxes, and we have to figure out all of those things. And I never complained once. I remember just being so excited to be there, looking at the prospects of, understanding what is expected of me, what I can gain from this experience and this exposure. I didn't think I was going to win, but I knew that, listen, if I'm here for a month, I'm going to soak it all in. And I remember winning. And you celebrate that victory, but what I remembered even more profoundly was that I won a car. Which now required me to go get a driver's license, to actually go and learn how to drive, sit the exam, to drive that car. And I'm always busy focusing on my little victories, that I don't have time to quarrel about why I am not where somebody else is, why I'm not driving the car that other people are supposed to be, think I'm supposed to be driving, why I don't live in a big house and a mansion on a hill. I have no time to worry about that, because I know that I'm still in progress, and work is still, under construction. But when I look at where I am now in comparison to where I was, I see the improvement. But we have to process it, and we have to give it time, and we have to be patient, and we have to step in our season, understanding that when you step and operate in your season, you're gonna get more than you bargained for. And that is what I turned around and I told the security guard, and I said, you can get no's 300 times. Maybe because that's when you were supposed to get the no. Maybe because that was a space or a period in time that you had to do something, learn something, grow in something. Wait. I said, be patient. The seed is sown. But I guarantee you, the day you get your yes is the day you're supposed to get that yes. Mark McDonald tried to get me to enter Miss Jamaica World 3 years consecutively. And when I finally entered, that was the year that I won. Would I have won in those other years if I had entered previously? I don't know. But I operate in my season, and I am very, very obedient. Me try not complain. Me just say, Lord, me thank you for the little blessings where you give me. Whether them big, whether them small, me thank you. Because really and truly, they're really not small. Even when they seem to be small. And I told him, don't worry about it. I said, your yes is coming. And I said, when your yes comes, it is going to blow your mind. When your season comes, you are going to get everything you wanted and brought up and tax. That when you look back, you're going to say, blouse and skirt, how did I get to this moment? So I guess what my message for you guys, or anybody listening, or anybody who might have needed to hear this, is, listen. Life, the road that we call life, not smooth, it not level, none tall. We can spend most of our time complaining about the road construction, or we can figure out how to deal with this road construction, look at the long-term benefits of maybe when this road comes to an end, and more importantly, look at the improvements that you're seeing and feeling now. Not everything is going to be obvious. Not everything is going to happen overnight. And you know what? That's okay. Everybody have a different road. Everybody have a different process. And even for those who them roads seem well paved out and ever clean and ever smooth, you also do not understand what the construction was like when they were going through on their roads. So I guess what I'm just here to say is keep pushing. Keep pushing. Never stop believing that you are made to be more. Never stop believing that, you are not your circumstances. Never stop believing that, this is just a temporary situation. And just like the road, then we're under construction. Eventually, when you look upon the road, you realize it's wide. You have nice highway. No traffic. Traffic light at work. Everything nice. And you realize that you're now operating in your season. So be grateful. I have so many more examples in my life where my life and my world was under construction, and I came out on the other side, dusting off myself, dirty from all the dust, but saying, I made it. So can you.